Well, hello everybody. So I'm at Smithland Dam today. It's finally gotten down shallow enough that I can fish it again. So at these dams, I try to fish in a couple different places. I like to fish where this backwash goes back into the dam like this. And it don't necessarily, sonar don't do you a lot of good out here. I do know that I run through there and there was a bunch of fish down there. But there's so many other fish in there, so much stuff going on. But your big ones will hold out in a couple different places. They'll hold out right here where this goes back in. They'll be adjacent to that swift water, wherever they can get to where it ain't like being mean to them down there. This is where I always start out. And then I'll work my way back down this backwash adjacent to that current that's going out across there. And that's where they always seem to hang out for me. Now we got a crosswind of blowing again the current, but I think that, I think as long as this dam boils stay the same, we'll be all right. We'll just have to try it and see. There's a bunch of fish down there. We will see. I'm kind of stoked about today because I haven't been down here in a while. Got some good fresh shad and a bunch of them. So I'm gonna keep them fish well fed today. I run 8 ounces of weight out here, just due to the fact that, and it's my typical setup, 8 ounces of weight is easier to control. It don't wash around. And I always, sometimes you'll see me run 3 poles. Most of the time I just run 2. And I'm gonna throw them right out there at the edge of that current. Usually about the trashiest place where there's so much trash flowing around and around's where you want to fish. That means that whatever's doing its thing's falling to the bottom. And just throw it out there at the edge of the current. I don't like to fish a side current in this trash, but we ain't got much of a choice. Because, it's March, it's got to be windy. Fish really ought to start hammering down. As long as it don't turn the boat completely around, we'll be all right. It was not supposed to be windy today. But again, we're in March. Hopefully we'll pull a big one out of here today. Been a while since I caught a sure enough big one. Since the last time I was down here. Water temperature's 42. They should bite. They should bite really good. Skipjack should start stirring before too long. Guys, when it gets above, the water temperature gets above 50 degrees, I like to shift over to skipjack, or start actively hunting them and start fishing with them, see what happens. Right hand pole. Our first bite. Been here about 3.5 minutes. That's what I love about Smithland Dam, folks. Come on, we need the big takedown. I am flat stoked about today, just due to the fact that I haven't fished down here in a little while. We might not catch a fish because I'm so happy about it, but I do think we will. I need to find the remote. Oh, I got it in my pocket. Started saying I need to find the remote to my trolling motor in case it gets wrapped up around the log. Dog, they're both gonna go down now. Ain't that something? Strip and drag right out of the bucket, folks. Fish on both poles. That's the reason why I only handle 2 poles. That one was kind of tangled up on some stuff. Need to work on my drag a little bit. That's all it takes. I ain't figured out if he's any size yet. I don't think he's no monster. He's the biggest fish I've caught in a little bit. Dig on down there, fella, dig on down. Yeehaw! Left-hand pole. Strip and drag, strip and drag. Hey, he come off, that's good. He'll rip the back end of the boat off. Good Smithland Dam fish, 15-pounder, 20. And I tell y'all something else too. The river's falling. Now most of the time I like to fish a raising river, but down here they like it when it falls. Nice Smithland Dam blue cat. He'll probably go maybe 20. Dog. And he was latched onto my thumb when I let loose of him, and he didn't get quite out of the boat. I gotta reel that other pole in. I think it's baitless. Maybe not. I kind of wing that one out there closer to where that washes off into the dam itself. If I get a big in there, I'll have issues, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm gonna give that left-hand pole about another 3 or 4 minutes. If it don't get a good takedown, I'm gonna put fresh bait on it. This is what I've been waiting on, folks, this Ohio River to get back down so I could get back out here. It's the only place in my part of the country that you can consistently catch big fish. And Lord help us, I hope it don't come another flood. It's a little higher than I like to fish it, but of course I don't know. I ain't never been on it and it ain't higher than this. And we'll jack around here a little bit and probably move a little bit for too long. Just according to if I keep getting bites or not. I think the right hand pole's fixing to get hooked. Well, he dropped it. I think the left hand pole's fixing to get hooked. I thought for a second that left-hand pole got one on the swing. The right-hand pole did get one. Or well, one bit it. He might be going down with it. That might be a pretty good one, guys. Might be a pretty good one. Got the adrenaline flowing, guys. Just adrenalizing. Doggy. Woo-hoo. He ain't no monster, but he's a good one. For all I know, the current's heavier down there where he's at, and he's small as, or not no bigger than that last one I caught. He's coming to the top out there. That is not good. I don't like it when they come to the top. Bad things happen. I'm just gonna let him go back down there. Kind of thought he was gonna get on that other pole. I'm just letting him go, stay down. Because when they want to come to the top, they want to come to the top. Pretty heavy fish. I don't think he's no great big fish by no means, but he's a good one. I love this adrenaline, guys. This is what I live for. I've done a lot of things in my life, but catching these big catfish, finding them, and then having it capitalize is just great. It's a great thing. And for surface area of water, this Smithland Dam has got more good ones in it than anywhere I've ever fished. Now the Mississippi, I believe, has got bigger ones in it, but they're a little bit harder to fish for. Now he's doing his thing. He's just down there digging. He ain't really took off like a good one yet, but the water temperature is 40 degrees. I can tell he's a heavy fish. But then the currents switched on us. Ain't that something, how you can fish at a place for 20, 30 minutes and never had the current switch, and then all of a sudden you get a good fish on and the current switches? I wish that current had quit and go back to normal. I'd have done and had that fish in. We about had a visual. I got a look of his tail. My back's starting to hurt. Guess I need to get this ready. Good one. Woohoo! Boys, it's good to be back on Smithland Dam. Probably 40. That's kind of what I was thinking, about 40. That's the bad thing about coin sinkers right there. They can find a dip net. God. So check this out, guys. This fish has been tagged at some time. When I hold him up for the camera, look at his top fin. He's been tagged at some time. Wonder what that means. Good 40-pound fish. Maybe even a hair more. I can't really hold him up. Good to be back on Smithland Dam, folks. Whew. Yeah. Regroup and go on about my day. I think I'm gonna have to move. Everything's messed up right now. I'm gonna go take a gander at another place. I'll probably come back here before too long. Now then, hopefully this gives us a much more direct approach to that backwash that goes back into the dam. I don't know. We will see. Well, I don't think it's gonna work. I think I need to be over to the right just a hair. Need to be over there just a hair. Now then, I think I'm too close to the current. So I need to go to the left just a hair. See, I want to get right where I can catch that backwash up underneath there, about where I'm at, as long as everything stays like this. I'm not very far from where I was at a while ago. I'm gonna give her a whirl here because I think this will, if it'll sit here, this will be a good place. Now then, we're waiting on the big takedown. This is just the optimal place right here for big catfish today. This will be where they're at. Everything that washes out of that dam comes up here and circles around. All the dead stuff, all the stuff that gets dead going through that dam, and it goes to the bottom right here in this slack current here. I need to turn this motor with the wind. You see how much difference that makes, guys, whenever you got that motor turned with the wind? The left-hand pole. Right-hand pole's trying to do something too. They're both trying to do something. I like the way that one on that left-hand pole's biting now. If he'd ever get a hold of it. I ain't got the bait on that left-hand pole. Dog, another good one. That's where the big uns are hanging out today, folks. Is right there. As soon as I get my jag adjusted right, that right hand pole's wanting to take off too. It's got a fish on it. I ain't making much headway on this one that I got on. It's about time for a current to really start up. It feels like a heavy fish. Dog. Trying to pose for the camera. As long as this other pole don't take off and go to going crazy. I believe this one's bigger than that last one I caught. It's hard to say because the current switched on me, but I think he is just a hair bigger. Move my electrical stuff over here. That one on that other pole's just sitting out there chilling with it. Find my dip net. I about lost him, about got him on the motor. I didn't even get a look at him, but I know one thing, he took off when he took off. I think that caught us both by surprise. That's the reason why you never tighten drag up until the fish is in the boat. Cause I'd have lost him right then if things hadn't have been right. I still ain't got to look at him. It's a good one. Not no 60 pounder, he might go 45, 50. I quit paying attention to that pole back there. Guess it don't matter. I need to get this fish in the boat's what I need to do. Well, he ain't having none of it. God dog. I want to get him off there and get another. Whew, that was a battle. Woo! I don't know, that fish might go 60. I'm gonna weigh him. Because it is a hoss. and I do mean a hoss. What do y'all think? You think it'll go 60? He's a lot bigger than I thought he was, I'll assure you of that. Because I never did see him until a good look at him till I got him in the dip net. I ain't weighed a fish in a long time. I'm gonna try to get up on this back seat so I can get the weight in the camera. Because it's very seldom I catch one big enough that I want to weigh. You know, if I hadn't caught a big one in a long time, I might weigh him, but let's see, dip net's at 178. I figure by holding him up like that, about 55. 50 right on the bunny. It's a good fish. As I was saying, guys, it's good to be back on Smithland Dam. Get this thing, hold him up for the camera, and get him back in the water. And get to fishing again. £50, folks. Good Ohio River fish. It'll take me a little bit to regroup. I think we're gonna sit here the rest of this set. That fish had probably went 60 if he'd been full. All right, guys. On to the next one. Onward bound is what we are. 3 fish in the boat And probably in them 3 fish, probably 100 pounds of fish, if not more. See, that one I guessed at 30 or 40. The first one would have weighed about 15, so yeah, just a hair more than 100 pounds and 3 fish. You can't beat that in 2 hours fishing. Now then, I'm noticing something. I've still got a braid leader on this other pole that I'm using. I've yet to catch a fish on it, and it has gotten bites. My hookup ratio with the braid ain't as good as the monofilament on the leader. That might be the reason why that I haven't been catching near as many fish the last couple of days. And still getting them good takedowns. But I done that for a reason. I went to braid leaders because I was using little bait at one time. But every time it's got a significant bite, I've been fighting a fish. So I can't really tell much about it. And they will drop it eventually. Well, I probably ain't got no more bait, folks, on anything. I'm gonna give them about 5 more minutes and then reel in and rebait. I don't know, they're getting bumps. Guess I was wrong about the bait. This one ain't near as big. Still a good one. And of course, the other one's going down too. And something else too, the current's picked up. Every time I'm fighting a fish, I can sit here 20 minutes, and as soon as I get a fish on, the current picks up. I didn't want to use the dip net on him. If I can keep from it. Another 10-pound fish. No, well, he'll probably go 5. Pretty fish, pretty healthy fish. I need to reel that other one in and check bait. Back to fishing. There we go. Can't even get it out of the rod holder. This one's a hair bigger than the one I just caught. Of course, they don't fight very hard when they're down there deep, but I don't think he's no great big monster. Still on that mono leader. And area 1 on the braid leader. I will be switching everything over to a mono leader. I caught him on them braided leaders here a while back. Matter of fact, that's the reason why I went to braid leaders, because I couldn't catch them on anything else. But I think it was the bite that had changed, not the hookup ratio. Go to hunting down my dip net. Because bad as I hate to, he's a dip netter. Another nice one. Probably about 10 pounds. Maybe 15. Trying to keep this sinker out of this dip net so I don't have to tangle with it. Checking that leader because I've caught 5 or 6 fish on it. See, using the dip net ain't very efficient. Another 10, 15 pound blue. Smithland Dam's doing good for me today. On to the next one. I'm gonna send this one a little bit further out in there against my better judgment, because if I do get a 40, 50 pounder out there in that current, I will have issues. I need to do some work on my rod rack, but I ain't gonna worry about it today. See if I can dodge this stick. You wouldn't think a braid leader would make that much difference, but it sure in the fire does on the hookup. So if we ain't learned anything else today, guys, always use a monofilament leader and circle hooks. See, I used to use braid mainline a lot of times, but I'd always use a monofilament leader. But I've since switched to mono everything, and it seems to help the hookup ratio. I've always used mono in the wintertime. Anyway, because braid freezes on your reel, and there you are sitting there without no fishing pole in the water because you got a froze up mess. There we go. Mono leader again. I think the fish are getting smaller. Doggy took off in. Still ain't a bad fish any way you look at it. See, I think them bites that you see fluttering on that is catfish, but I don't think they're getting hooked. Because you'll see this one flutter a couple times like that, and then you got a fish on. And here comes the current. Because you know I'm fighting a fish. He might not be as small as I thought he was. It's so doggone hard to judge in the wintertime. See, I didn't think that 50-pounder was as big as he was. But then again, I thought that 40-pounder was smaller than he was, or bigger than he was. Anyways, this is a good fish. As he gets, whenever he quits doing whatever he's trying to do down there. I can't see nothing. The sun's right in my eyes. Now I got so many logs I can't dip him up. And a buffalo. Well, if this ain't something. I got him regardless. Yeah, buddy. Another 30, 35, 30. I think I've got a mess on this other pole. No, he might not go 30. How long? Probably 25. 20. Good fish regardless. Guys, I'm gonna throw everything out fresh again. Put new batteries in my camera because we are at 15%. And call it. Probably 25. Another good Ohio River fish. I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and reel it in and put fresh bait on everything. And if the next fish is over 20, I'm gonna call it. That's bad whenever you make stipulations like that, because normally I'd be out here for another 12 hours. They're flat biting today. I'm not using monster baits by no means. Now then, I will show y'all a little secret, because I just now thought about it. It's something that I do all the time. On my bait. So when I'm using half shad like this, and guys, this makes a big difference what I'm fixing to show y'all. And the only reason why I'm showing y'all this is because whoever's watching this video right now probably watches me all the time or is interested in fishing. So, I always hook that shad through his eyeball. Like that, unless it's real severe current. And then I'll hook him up through the bottom jaw and through his head. And I'll cut that shad, cut a slit in him right there. That right there will increase your bites 50%. Now then, that being said, when they're short biting, you'll get a lot of bites where they get their shad and they get the bite of their shad and they turn around and leave because they ripped that shad off right there. But when they're biting good, that makes a big difference. And you would not think that it would, but it sure does. It's just little things like that that can be made a difference, that you don't ever think about. What that does is open up that shad to where he's bleeding a little bit more. I used to do it all the time whenever I was flathead fishing. I would take and cut that perch open on its side like that. I'll just take and slice that shad a little like that. It's not no great big secret, but it does make a difference. And you can cut a perch like that and he'll stay alive on a hook for a while. I'll have to review the video, but I think every one of them fish I caught today's been on that mono leader. Now granted, when I was fighting fish, I had a couple bites on that was hook, that didn't take on off and get the hook in them, that I could have probably got. So the first thing I do when I get home, or before I go fishing, I'm gonna switch everything to mono leader. Because I got some good bites yesterday that I didn't hook. There we go. That's probably a good one, guys. That's probably a good one. A little bit closer out there to that current. Now, if he weighs over 40, I'm gonna throw her back out there. Just due to the fact that you don't catch consistent big ones like this very often. I don't know if he'll go over 40 or not. So what I judge it on, guys, is whenever that pole, you got it up like that, and that thing's dancing like that, it's usually a pretty small one. But whenever you got her up like this and it's just pulling and you'll feel his head doing that, it's usually a pretty good one. So the little ones, they got a littler head shake about them is what it amounts to. The bigger ones got a longer head shake because the fish is longer. I don't know if he'll go over 40 or not. He ain't as big as I initially thought when he went down with it. Again, on that mono leader. My arm's getting tired. I think he just now realized he got hooked. Like I said, I don't think he's as big as I originally thought. But he'll go over 20. Don't know if he'll go 40 or not. Do some contortion. Like I said, if I think he'll go over 40, I'm gonna throw another pole out there, because that happened pretty quick out there closer to that current. He's right there at the 40-pound mark, I'd say. Yeah, boy, it's hard to say. He's right there at that 40-pound mark. I might have lied. It's a good chunk fish. So he's big enough we're going to throw another hook out there. He had the key on my boat. Now guys, I had thrown that out there closer to that current. And it didn't take long to get a 40-pound fish. So I'm gonna do it again. Another nice big Ohio River blue. I'm tired of wrestling fish today, folks. Well, guys, I'm gonna call it. I don't know how many we caught today. I know we caught probably 3, maybe 4 over 40. I had a lot of fun. I'm tired. I might be hitting 1,000 subscribers here before too long. That's a little daunting to me. I never would have thought that some old hillbilly like me would get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I just love to fish. So I want to thank y'all. And I will come back down here in the next week or so and catch another batch of them. I will see y'all later.